Hey guys, this is the setup here. I have my ESP32 drone that's connected to my laptop and it is showing me angles in the roll axis. So if I do this, it is showing me the angles. So here we'll be doing a sensor fusion where there are two sensors in the IMU. This consists of a gyroscope and an accelerometer. So we will see how we can get optimum angle from these two sensors. We'll be fusing these two sensors in order to find a good angle. So before we start with this, let's just quickly brush up some things. So this is called an IMU, and an IMU consists of a gyroscope and an accelerometer. So an accelerometer consists of three axes, that is X, Y, and Z. And the z-axis right now is the vertical one, and this is facing 9.8 meter per second squared, considering it's on a plane surface. So this will measure acceleration. The gyro measures your angular velocity. What I mean by this is a fast angular velocity and this is a slow angular velocity. So it's nothing but how much degrees you change per second. So it's nothing but like small quantity by small seconds. So small theta by small seconds. That's it. So this is about a gyro and accelerometer. Now, one of the amazing things is that from the accelerometer itself, you can find angles. And similarly, from the gyro itself, you can find angles. And these angles, you can process them in your microcontroller to feed it to your PID controller for the drone to fly or any robotic application to fly or work. So let's just see how the drone flies when we only use the gyro. Now let's see how the drone flies when you only use the accelerometer. Looking at the two results, you can see that there are still some shortcomings. Like in the gyroscope, the drone flies okay, but it drifts. Whereas in the accelerometer, it's highly unstable. It's not able to, fly at all. But there are some things that an accelerometer can provide you. Similarly, there are some things that the gyro can provide you. So first, let's talk about the accelerometer. So uh, here, when I keep the so right now this is a system where I can select which one is working. So right now I want the accelerometer to work, and I can slide it here for the now only the gyroscope is working. So right now only the accelerometer is working. So you can see that this is the data when I have the accelerometer, and this is the data when I have the gyroscope. So with the gyroscope, you can see that the data is very smooth, but what's happening? It's increasing, okay? But with the accelerometer, the data is very noisy. Now, let me give you a quick demonstration of how the accelerometer is good. You can see that when I tilt my drone at an angle of like 20 degrees, it's almost 20, you can see that it shows almost good result, like it's fluctuating among like really good values. So it's at 20, so it doesn't change over time. This value almost stays the same. It's very noisy, but it stays the same at 20. Okay, so this is one of the good things about an accelerometer, that the data is just calculated in front of you. So it doesn't drift, it stays the same, but it's very noisy. And you can see from the flight that it was not usable, it was not stable at all. So this is one good, only good quality to take from this is it stays at 0. Okay, that's the good quality. It doesn't drift. Now coming to the gyroscope, if we want to use the gyroscope, you can see how the noisiness goes away. The noisiness just gone. So it's a very nice value, but it is drifting. It is increasing over time. So what does increase over time? This is because of the integration that we're doing. as you have seen, the gyroscope gives you angular velocity along each axis. So d theta by ds for each axis. If we do integration of this, that is just do an integration here and multiply by ds cancels and you get a theta after integration of. So this is the theta g, I'm going to call it. This is theta g from the integration. Now this is a good angle, like it's a very smooth angle, but there's a problem with it is that it drifts. And by the drift, I mean initially, now this is a 0 degrees, but you see a 1. And after some time, it's gonna be a 2 because it keeps on increasing. Now, if I were to do a change, you will get a very smooth result. But with time, that angle value will drift and that's going to reach a big amount over a long time. So your 20 degrees might be 30 degrees. So this is the drift, which is the error of a gyroscope. During the flight, it was stable, but with time, it will worsen. Now, here comes the funda of sensor fusion. So in sensor fusion, what you do is you just fuse two data and you get a good data. Okay. So in the accelerometer, we saw that there was very much noise. So we'll go back to the accelerometer. You can see that the noise has come back. It measures acceleration on all three axes. Then you do a trigonometry, like this are some arctangent tangent functions, and you find the angles which are roll, pitch, and yaw. So I'm going to name this as theta accelerometer, so theta A. So what the sensor fusion, what this slider basically does is that it's a complementary filter. So what's it gonna do is, so your theta from the gyroscope will be multiplied by a gain, okay, and this will be added to 1 minus that gain. So this is a complement, right? 1 minus that gain into your theta acceleration, and this will be your theta nu. So basically you are doing nothing but a different weighted average. That's what you're doing. And this gain value is belonging to your 0 to 1. Okay, so this is nothing but the sensor fusion that we are talking about. And now let's try to find an optimal gain for this. So if you take the bar here, if I slide it at the accelerometer, the gain is 0, which means that you are giving 0 weight to your gyro and you are giving full weight to your accelerometer theta. So this is again a very noisy data. You can see that drone doesn't fly well. So let's try to eliminate the noise as much as we can. So if you keep it at 0.5, let's see the flight response here. Okay, it was still noisy, and you can see how noisy it is. Like if I give it a small tap, you can see the big shock wave. So imagine while flying, it's how much noise there's gonna be. So this noise is very unnecessary. We need to remove this. So the more closer to gyro we are, the lesser the noise is. Okay, but still there is a bit of a noise. We need it as smooth as possible. So ideally this range is from 0.99 to 0.996. So let's keep it at 0.91 because this is where I found really good response in the flight. So this is a good this is what I think a good range is for the gain. And you can also see the value not drifting much, like it's going up, it's going down. So it's 0.5, which is it doesn't drift much. And now if you see the angles are also smooth. Like these are pretty good angles that you see. And if let's look at the flight response now. So from the flight, you saw that this complementary filter works quite well. It gives a stable response where the drone doesn't drift much. So, and also it is flyable, it can fly. So that was about it. This is basic sensor fusion. Thank you for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions, leave in the comments. I'll be happy to look at it. Thank you. Have a nice day.